Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and we have some weird Star Trek news. Oh my god, they're so desperate to get news out there about Star Trek in any way they can that they're going to do basically paid advertising on Let's Make a Deal, which I guess is a CBS owned show. So here's a little bit how game shows work. Before we really get into the article. Game shows are basically used as a way to advertise products to people. They get promotional products, things like that are all there to kind of entice people who might not normally buy them. This is why you see so many kind of outlandish things on stuff like, The Price is Right, or Let's Make a Deal, Wheel of Fortune back in the day when they would do prizes. I am a huge game show fan. I absolutely love them. I kind of prefer more the trivia ones, but when I was a really little kid, I loved Let's Make a Deal. The old one with Monty Hall. I was actually unaware it's still on the air. I have not watched Let's Make a Deal in a very long time. It's kind of like The Price is Right. It's one of those things where, I loved them when I was a kid. I never really went back to them. I mean, and even now, more of my favorite sort of game shows are like, Pressure Luck. I really love Pressure Luck. I really love, Tic-Tac-Doe, all the old ones. Sail of the Century I've been watching a lot more of recently. They just have them on YouTube. And I do love all the game show moments, like the Family Feud ones, like the funny Family Feud answers, like, things a burglar doesn't want to see, and the guy answers, naked grandma. Huge fan of game shows. Let's get into this article. So Star Trek and Let's Make a Deal OG game show boldly seeks out new life with Brand Enterprise. Brand Enterprise. Oh, see, now we're even telling you guys. We're advertising the brand. Please watch us. Please watch us. Star Trek mind melds with Let's Make a Deal for a special all-Trekkie episode of the CBS game show on February 4th, with official Star Trek prizes, props, costumes, and special guest appearances by Mary Chieffo from Star Trek Discovery. Nobody's gonna know who that is. Nobody's gonna know who Mary Chieffo is from Star Trek Discovery. They're gonna be like, what? Some Klingon? People who do know Star Trek will be like, you got some guest star Klingon who's probably in one episode? They're gonna know. Like, a lot of your casual Trek viewers aren't even going to know this is on the air. I have had people in real life who are Star Trek fans relay the message, that, what, there's new Star Trek? This is kind of why they're doing it. It is one more attempt to kind of get advertising out there, to get some name recognition. And I don't know. I'm not so entirely opposed to it. I do love a good game show, especially the more ridiculous ones, like Let's Make a Deal, where they dress up in costume and they have to choose between door number 1 or door number 2. Wait, door number 1, no, door number 2. It's kind of hilarious, but, it's still fun. It's still a fun game show. Sure, why not? And there's a preview clip above of Star Trek Discovery, apparently. Or is this the game show? I'm not going to click anything. I don't trust clicking things. The partnering represents a professional promotion from Star Trek Discovery, the must-deliver flagship for CBS All Access. The must-deliver. Ooh, I love how that's worded. Must deliver or else. Or else what? Is this why we're so desperate to advertise it? For the CBS All Access subscription play. For Let's Make a Deal, the entire enterprise shows the game show is still boldly going in new directions in its 55th year, and after 3,500 plus episodes, with its first takeover branded theme and its first in-show pop culture brand partner. Wow, that's kind of, I mean, they've done like themed episodes of, I remember they had all Trek people on what was it? It was probably back in the day of Enterprise. Weakest Link, that one. They had them all on Weakest Link, and they had them all on probably Family Feud. Forgive me if I can't remember exactly, because so many of these TV series, you'll have like Gilligan's Island versus I Dream of Jeannie, and that was more of a Family Feud thing, but this is kind of interesting. You usually don't see that. Sometimes you'll see sort of themes on Wheel of Fortune, and even Jeopardy will have a category or two, but on Let's Make a Deal, it doesn't seem, first off, Let's Make a Deal is such a I don't want to say anything insulting about Let's Make a Deal, but it is very much a kind of turn your brain off sort of thing. And I guess that's the audience Star Trek Discovery really wants, the turn your brain off. Here's some flashy lights, here's some loud noises sort of fan base, which explains a lot of the people who named me the YouTube Harpy. Basically, our diehard Discovery fans. They also call me Mecha Trollface, which is cute. It's cute. Is this really who you want, though? People are going to turn off their brain. Because I guess your writing just isn't going to be up to par with Star Trek. So, yeah, I guess you want the type of people who are going to be sitting on their phone texting and going after people on Twitter and all those things. You want that sort of demographic. I suppose somebody who just has the TV on as background noise, but yeah, I watch YouTube in the background. I watch, I watch other members of my community. I watch stuff like The Quartering and Geeks and Gamers and, the Midnight Edge stuff. I watch YouTube videos to kind of know what's going on more than I watch just like the shows and especially something where I know it's just an advertisement like Let's Make a Deal. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. I really don't. I'm kind of concerned for the brand that this is sort of the that this is kind of where they want to send their target audience to, which I guess is fine if they have soap operas on there. I have heard plenty of people say, "Oh yes, I only use CBS All Access for my soap operas because I watch all my CBS soaps." Fine, that's great. That's a great way to use a service like that. If that's where it's your money. Do what you want. I just don't. It doesn't have a lot of crossover. My mom isn't gonna sit there and pay money to watch Star Trek. She might pay money to watch her soaps. She might. She's more of an ABC soap person. But she's not gonna sit there and watch Star Trek Discovery to sign up for this. And so I think maybe it would be a little bit more prudent of them to maybe perhaps take some of the eggs out of the Star Trek basket for CBS All Access and maybe focus more on the people who would buy the streaming service, which are, I hate to use that demographic, but I mean, we do have to break it down into demographics here. That age group of women or men who watch soap operas, maybe that's who you kind of want to direct your streaming service to. Not Star Trek. This is such a weird concept to me. Like, none of this stuff makes sense. And it kind of comes across as like, oh my god, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you going on? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love game shows. I really, really love game shows. Star Trek doesn't match with Let's Make a Deal. Star Trek would be more Jeopardy. But now Star Trek's demographic isn't sort of the Jeopardy audience. Now it's kind of, who knows? Who knows what this demographic is? I don't understand. I really don't understand, but right. Deadline caught up with Let's Make a Deal executive producer Mike Richards to ask about brand partnering, host Wayne Brady's 10th anniversary, Klingon translators, and the intuitive gifts of Captain James T. Kirk. So they ask, every season represents a new challenge and a new opportunity. What would you point to as an example for each? Example of each for Let's Make a Deal here in 2019. It's so hard to read. I'm reading off my monitor instead of off the article over here, so I'm looking more at the camera. I need to make this a little bigger, come closer. I'm getting old, you guys. I'm getting really old. So Richards answers, the challenge of opportunity of Let's Make a Deal are one and the same. Don't you mean one and the same? It is one of the rare game shows that doesn't have a hard, fast format. We can do whatever we want as long as we have a big deal of the day at the end of the show. How we get there is totally up to us. After 55 years, a lot has been done. Our challenge is to keep the show true to its core, but constantly come up with new and exciting ways to keep our fans entertained and engaged. Wayne's Favorite Folks Week is one of those examples. Those 5 episodes run the gamut from legacy contestants who appeared on Monty's version of the show, to an episode themed entirely around Star Trek because Wayne is the greatest improv star out there. We were able to take the show to places no one would expect. This show is predicated on being unpredictable, and we work hard to keep our millions of fans on their toes. I didn't even know it was still on the air. But of course, I don't watch network television or have cable anymore, so... Deadline with Star Trek Discovery co-star Mary Chieffo beaming down to Let's Make a Deal and the wider Trek theme. It seems as if you're pushing in the new directions with branding. I believe you did a Grammy-themed episode to tie in with the CBS Awards broadcast. Oh, did they? I wonder how well that did for them. I haven't watched the Grammys in years. I guess Ghost is winning Grammys or something, so awesome. I haven't thought of the Grammys as being relevant since Metallica lost or Best Heavy Metal Grammy the first year that was a category in 1992 to Jethro Tull. Yeah, that's about when I stopped watching the Grammys. But sure, I guess that's still going strong too. Richards, the reason the Star Trek episode is so exciting for us is because this is the first time we've ever incorporated a specific pulp culture brand into our show. This is something we've wanted to do for a long time, and Star Trek Discovery was the perfect partner to start with. Again, why? Why? Just because I guess they have all their eggs in the Star Trek basket for CBS All Access. So much to the fact that they keep bringing up the same Picard series story like 4 or 5 times over, the same Space Hitler story 4 or 5 times over, because they're so desperate to get people talking about this. The Star Trek theme was an absolute joy to work with. They gave us access to props, costumes, and a wealth of knowledge about the series. So you ask the Okudas then, and not the people involved with Discovery. Gotcha. On our end, the Let's Make a Deal team had a great time coming up with deals that would fit into the Trek universe and adapting some of our current games to be played through the Star Trek lens. I think fans of both shows will really enjoy what we came up with. And it's definitely a type of special that we'd love to do again in the future. Deadline asks, were there any moments that made your team feel like they had stepped into a strange alternate universe? Richards answers, there are a few times throughout the episode where we rely on the Klingon language. Oh, fuck me. Oh, no. Not Discovery Klingon. Not Discovery Klingons. You're going to turn off so many people if you do that. They probably already filmed it. Oh, God, it's in the can, isn't it? It's only like 4 days away. They talk so slowly. They speak so slowly through that heavy makeup that it makes me want to scream. That's how they talk on the show. It was just one little word at a time. It's horrible. It was so painful to sit through. Don't double down on the Klingons. Please, please, please don't. Obviously, our friends at Star Trek and CBS made sure that everything we were saying in Klingon was accurate. I'm surprised they do. They can't get anything else right. They can't get, the uniforms right, the ships right. Of course, there is that, and I have to speculate. I have to say rumor, even though there's plenty of information out there, that it has to be 25% different. But to our surprise, one of the audience members was an actual Klingon translator. They had to use an audience member because the show people got it wrong. Oh, that's too funny. She was a great help to some of our contestants and confirmed that everything we were saying was on point. But they still had to run it by an audience member too. That's hilarious. That's kind of hilarious to me. What Star Trek character from any of the different series would be the best Let's Make a Deal contestant? Spock is smart, but Scotty knows a good bargain. Data is a walking calculator, but then again, it's hard to bet against a Betazoid. Obviously, if you ask me, I would say a Ferengi, because they would know the percentages, they would know the odds, they would know how to play the games. I would say a Ferengi. Ferengi would be the best. Of all the Star Trek characters, I think Kirk would be the best on Let's Make a Deal. This game requires a solid gut instinct, quick decision-making, 2 attributes that Kirk definitely has. We'd also love to watch Spock grapple with the show. There's nothing illogical about what we do, so listening to him try to reason through the decision points would be amazing. Now, the best contestants would be clearly Ferengi. What race or character or species in Star Trek would you guys want to see on Let's Make a Deal as a contestant? I think seeing like Quark and Nog and Rom, they're arguing kind of like when they landed on Earth. And they're basically smacking each other on the head, getting their translators to work. I think that would be a perfect sort of setting for a game show. This year's Wayne Brady's 10th anniversary. What would you say about his decade on Let's Make a Deal, and how exactly did he end up winning the show's first Emmy in a music category? Well, Richard's answers, 10 years is a remarkable milestone for any television show, and we choose to celebrate it all season long. We started the year off by inviting zonked contestants back for a whole week. What's zonked? Oh, the zonks. I'm like, oh yeah, they got the crappy prizes. I'm like, zonked contestants? Is that a new show? No. that shows how long ago it's been since I've watched Let's Make a Deal. It's probably been a decade, to be honest. Back for a whole week of shows that were guaranteed one of them will leave with $100,000, the biggest prize ever given in the show's 55-year history. And it was one of the most exciting moments we've ever had on the show. Throughout the entire season, we've incorporated deals and games that reflect our 10 years on CBS and showcase moments both on and off camera. One of our favorite moments was when Wayne and our musician Kat Gray won their first Emmy for Let's Make a Deal. They won for Outstanding Original Song. This was the first time in 55-year history of Let's Make a Deal that the show had ever won a Grammy Award, and it was an Emmy Award. And it was an exciting moment for the entire cast and crew. So he improv a song? I kind of want to know more about the song he sang. Because I watched Wayne Brady on that improv show, Would You Carry? Whose line is it anyway? I watched more of the British version, to be fair, but... So what do you guys think of this? Is this kind of... I don't know if this is a good fit. I really don't, because... Like I said... Star Trek, I am a game show fan. I still have my 80s Mr. Game Show from, and it has like awesome things like Wheel of Fortune kind of knockoffs and trivia sort of games and stuff. I don't know if this is a great idea. I think that you might be getting a fan base that you don't really want, who aren't really going to stick around for Star Trek Discovery. They might try CBS All Access for free for a month to boost your numbers, because this is all they really do. They release numbers of how many people sign up or how many people that they project sign up, and then they don't say, oh, and then they canceled right away after their free trial happened. I always cancel stuff after free trials. Usually, like last night, I just signed up for the Nintendo Online thing. I'm probably going to cancel that after the free trial, because I'm not going to use it enough to keep paying $4 a month for it. That being said, I don't think people are going to stick around once they actually see Star Trek Discovery, unless you have such a banger of an episode that people are going to really, really love it. I don't think that's going to happen, though, because we've had a really bad episode 1, a solid D, probably. It was the most Trek for episode 2, and I am still working on that review, and hopefully I'll get it done before episode 3 comes out tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to stick around unless the next episode is phenomenal, and to make it phenomenal, they have to fix a lot of things. There's a lot of issues with this show. I complain about it because I do have great passion and great love for Star Trek, as anybody who can see all the crap behind me knows. I like pop culture stuff. I like stuff. I like consuming these sort of shows, loving them, living them. And when I see something like Discovery, it just is so heartbreaking that we have this sort of fandom that they're kind of trying to appeal to, and that's just another example of I don't think they understand their fans. It would be much more Star Trek to have an entire Jeopardy episode, but I know, and that's Sony, and they wouldn't have it. I don't believe CBS has any property that really, really matches a lot of the Star Trek sort of fan base, or at least the old school fans, at least a lot of us who love things like Drumhead, Measure of a Man, stuff that a lot of your Discovery fans might be bored with. Anyway, what do you guys think? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. I am Mecha Random 42, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.